me get out my boys' rosters.
Welcome back into the War Lodge. We've got a minute until we're set for the next game of action. We've got the Sequoia Chiefs hosting the Kell Longhorns in the 6A playoff matchup here. Welcome everybody back into the broadcast booth. I'm your host, Will Cooper, joined alongside Will Hogendijk, getting his notes all sorted and ready, and Max Swain as well. We've got a great one on tap for you. Of course, both these teams come in riding a couple of game win streaks. Of course, that is interesting to note because Sequoia's last loss was January the 28th. They have won for a complete month in a row. They come in as the Region 7 champs. They upset the River Ridge Knights in that game there in the region tournament and have won the first seed here, and that's why they are here on the opposite side of that coin. Kell Longhorns come in 19-10, and they are the runner-up in Region 6, but worth noting they also play in the same region as Wheeler, who has been known to be one of the top teams in Georgia as far as basketball. They are also still in this tournament. They come in averaging 66.6 points per game. And let's talk about the elephant in the room real quick, gentlemen. That is Peyton Marshall, the 7-foot-tall center. So once again, guys, welcome back into the broadcast. Tell me a little bit about how you're feeling about this game, Will.
Well, I'll just start it off by telling you how each team got here, similar to how I started the girls' game. So Sequoia, their first game was against Paulding County. They beat them 135-112, and that might sound like a high score because that's the highest combined score of any high school basketball game in the nation this year. So quite a feat there. And then going the second game, they beat Rockdale County 84-75. And then moving over to the Kell side of things, they beat Habersham 79-66, and then they beat Tucker 76-61. So Sequoia is a consistent high 70s to mid 80s scoring team. We saw them obviously with the high score of 135, but they did hit 100 versus Johns Creek. We were there for that one. That was a fun one. And then Kell's a consistent mid 70s scoring team. So both these teams match up pretty evenly. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, kind of like the girls' game, which team comes out firing first and which quarters are which teams. So,
of course, the lights darken as they introduce the home Chiefs. Max, I'm going to send it over to you, buddy. What are you looking forward to seeing in this game?
I think you said it perfectly. The elephant in the room. He's the size of an elephant, the height of a giraffe, the whole Savannah in one. It's Peyton Marshall, 7 foot tall, a beast under the basket, can dunk without even jumping. It's going to be entertaining to watch how he matches up against Fisher Mitchell. Matthew Trainer down low. We know he's an athlete, but how will they match up against Marshall? It's going to be a fantastic game.
It should be a good one on tap, of course. As we mentioned, the War Lodge is packed. I've never seen it so full. A good job by Kell to come out and support their team. As we mentioned, a little bit shorter trip than Brad wants to, who had a very good game of their own against the Lady Chiefs. But the Lady Chiefs are headed to the Final Four. Let's hope and see if the regular Sequoia Chiefs can join them along the way. 8 minutes on the clock. Everything is wiped off the board. We are set to go, and it should be a good one here. So we're getting ready to send you back to the floor as we've got a whole nother game of action here for you. Settle in for the night, folks. It's going to be a good one as we've got a Elite 8 matchup, and it is brought to you by Barbara Lackey Financial Group. We want to thank them once again for being our title sponsor for this event here tonight for both games. Of course, the winner of this will go on to play at the University of West Georgia down in South Georgia later if they do win this one indeed. The tip is up, and Kell with the win.
And the winner will face Grovetown in the Final Four. That match has already been decided. None of the other Elite 8 matches have been played. This one is the second one to get underway.
Good defense down in the corner. Good drive there. Quick moves by Kell up and to the basket and in. That's the first points of the night. And that one quickly goes to Dylan Cambridge. Sequoia going to have to set up a little bit of offense. As we know, they have a couple of very good scorers. Dylan Wiley, known for his three-point shooting. But they're going to have to rely on some other guys tonight. Keener, 17.6 points per game. Fisher Mitchell, the big man underneath at 11.7 points per game. Going to need him tonight as they fish it out back to him, but a travel called. And the guilty party on that one is Keener. So Kell with a quick turnover with 7:19 left to go here in the first.
And you know, Will, we saw Cambridge go up for that layup, and that's not going to be the only time we're going to see him driving to the basket. Kell has multiple guys that can dunk on this team. 6'5" Aaron Smith, Dylan Cambridge. So there's multiple tall guys on this team that they're going to really put it to the Chiefs.
And another travel called that time against Aaron Smith of the Kell Longhorns. So going back the other way. Maybe a little bit of early game jitters here as you hear the student section kindly reminding the Kell Longhorns of the rules of basketball.
And yeah, they're going to be talking throughout the whole game, trying to get the Longhorns nervous.
Little physical play there, but a long shot, bang, up and in. Kyle Keener with the early three as Sequoia jumps out on top. Cal with a quick response, long three here, bang, that one's hammered home on the other end. That was Aaron Smith once again. That one quickly up and in for Sequoia on the back end. 5-5, all knotted up here with 6:30 left to go.
Starting out to be a track meet just like that girls game was, both teams going back and forth.
Jump ball called. That was quick. So the possession arrow goes to Kell.
Keener tried to grab that one from, I'm not sure who it was, maybe Cambridge. And the refs thought he got a little too much arm, not enough ball on that one.
Once again, we are working on a crowded view down to our knee. Oh, and a slip there. Kell with a quick break. And the foul called on the opposite end. I believe that was Mitchell, the guilty party. As number 4, Cambridge went back up real quick, would have had the easy layup. We pardon the language. As that will go to the stripe. First time we've seen a team to the stripe tonight. So the first one up and in. The atmosphere in here is electric. There's a quick 2 there. Good defense here from Cal to start, as that's Parrish Johnson, who's had 17 points last game. As we mentioned, not on the floor is Peyton Marshall yet. He's only a sophomore at 7 foot tall, so we'll grow more into that frame. Nice put up there.
And that's something we've seen Preston Parker do many times this year, is bounce it off a part of the glass, a very high part of the glass that is not usually used for layups, and he's doing great at that.
He's a skilled junior. Very happy we get him for another year.
Nice steal there. As you just mentioned, Parker with the steal. Long three. Bang! Hammers it home. And a long 2. My apologies. Thank you, Max. Caught us in rotation there. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. A 3 here from Kell. Misses the mark.
And the student section is going to let Kell know what happened there.
Giving him ammo here. Working underneath. Nice shot. Kyle Keener. Keener with a quick 4. Excuse me, 7. So Keener and Parker have combined for all the points here. Another long 3. Nope. Nice rebound underneath. Sequoia winning the glass underneath here to start. Not something we expected.
Wally not getting involved quite yet. Keener showing he can do very well on his own.
Quick turnaround here from Kell. Drive to the basket. Very nice. Laid up and in as Aaron Smith. We see Wally getting the ball for the first time tonight. See if he can do something with it. Drives inside. Nice shoot. Floating away just a little bit short. And Trainer tried to come down with it but couldn't do it. So mishandle by Cambridge there. And Kell retains possession up and inside against Mitchell. Shot doesn't go. Good
Beautiful
by
defense
Mitchell.
by Fisher Mitchell.
About as good as you can do it. And good no call on the foul there. And just rolls off the front of the rim. Trainer inside gets it. Mitchell with a long 3. Just off the back of the rim.
You know, that's another thing we see Trainer do a lot, is he gets tons of rebounds. He's at 186 on the year, leads the team, and you know, that's something that helps the Chiefs stay in it and get second chances a lot of times.
He's certainly grown into his frame over his past couple of years here at Sequoia. Nice defense inside. Quick pass out, jump away, and just short but finds its way in. That was Cambridge. Tied at 11 here. 3:20 left to go in the first. And a steal there from Cambridge. Up, with the charge. Shot won't go. So good job by Parker to draw the charge. We're going to have our first substitution. So entering the floor is number 21, Peyton Marshall, at 7 foot tall. Keep in mind, he is a sophomore. He has 15 points and 11 rebounds in his last game, so that 11 rebounds is really the story there. He's going to play underneath the net. And it's going to be hard to work against him underneath. That's going to be Fisher Mitchell's job.
And I really think his presence in the paint really speaks for himself. Doesn't really need a stat line.
Wally Long, 3 hammers it home.
And Wally will get in on the scoring action here with a 3 of his own.
And that's what Sequoia's going to have to do. When you have Marshall on the floor, you're going to have to shoot very well. Don't want to put it up to rebound chances. Posting up inside, back to him, facilitating this offense. Good defense underneath. Aaron pass. Mitchell forces the Aaron pass. Sequoia's going to take over. Listen to this crowd.
Student section was just waiting for something like that to happen.
And that's a great first possession by Fisher Mitchell, gaining momentum while guarding Marshall. A great early sign for the Chiefs.
You may not believe this, but Marshall is the second tallest player to enter the War Lodge this year. Of course, IMG Academy came down and played in the Classic, and they had their 7'4" center, who is also a sophomore, come in and play. So we've seen a couple of giants here at the War Lodge this year. Just like this game is a giant as well. Nice block out there by Marshall, just as we mentioned him. Connor Harris was attempting a 3, but didn't even get a chance.
With a 7-foot frame, that's something you're going to see a lot. Max and I were watching the highlights for Kell, and blocks were a thing we saw quite a few of, not just from Marshall there, but also from Smith as well as Cambridge, the Kell tall guys.
So Parker gets it, dishes it out underneath. That's Keener. Keener with a long pass to Mitchell. Mitchell's got a 3, just off the back of the rim. Loose ball, everybody fighting for it. And a jump ball, and the possession arrow goes in the way of Kell. So they will take over. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in the first. I'm Will Cooper, joined alongside Will Hogendijk. Max Swain, thank you for being with us here on Chiefs TV, on YouTube, and wherever you are watching. We appreciate you making us your entertainment for the night. Nice pass inside to Cambridge, and it's no good. Clock now under 2 minutes. Keener averaging 17.6 on the year. So far in this one, he's got 7. Open 3, finds it, 4-point play! Preston Parker with a chance to go to the stripe to convert the very advantageous 4-point play.
Parker watching that one sail in from the floor as he got knocked down.
This feels like I'm in an NBA arena. There is not a space open, and the crowd goes wild at every play.
When we say not a space open, it's on either side of the gym. There's not a space open.
Yeah, Kell has quite the turnout.
Yeah, they did very well. They filled in the section completely to our left here on the visitor side. So congratulations to them for getting this far as the 4-point play is converted. Minute 43 left. They're going to substitute a little bit here.
You know, Will and Max, just to break down a little bit of how this Kell offense works. They pass it around quickly to draw another man off because, you know, they have those tall guys that can just put it in easily. And, you know, that leaves multiple men open so they can just fire it out and get easy 3 shots or points in the paint as well.
And Fisher Mitchell inside giving him the business. I feel like he ate his Wheaties a little bit.
That was a perfect example right there. Marshall had the ball, he was triple teamed. And in the videos he watched, he was sometimes quadruple teamed. So that's a key piece of their offense, is dragging defenders across the court.
Long 3 here, just short of the mark. Fisher Mitchell, no, excuse me, that's Wally trying to get the rebound. Let's see who it goes to, and Sequoia is going to get it off the loose ball. So there was quite a fight underneath. Wally almost had it, but then it was poked away, but fortunately the last one to touch it was a Longhorn.
And Will, one guy that Max and I were watching very carefully during our film session was Connor Staffeleris, the freshman who was making 3s and getting fast breaks. He is definitely a player to watch for Kell. He can put some points on the board for them.
That is number 22 on the floor. It looks like he'll be working, at least right now, against Stephen Galvin, the sophomore. And that's an air ball. Wally had a lot of contact down there, but no call. You see, once again, the offense is set up around the interior paint. As Mitchell trying to work inside. Not a lot you can do about that. Quick put up and in. 5-point deficit now for the Longhorns. Just under a minute here to go at the War Lodge. Mitchell with a long 3. Just off the front of the rim. Good rebound inside. Mitchell on the inside. This time he finds it. That's what the big man needs. A little bit of money underneath.
And great assist by Galvin there. He knew he did not have the shot in the corner. Great dribbling, great ball movement.
30 seconds here to go. Nice underneath, gonna draw the foul there. That's Kyle Keener working one-on-one against Aaron Smith underneath the basket. Smith to the line. Smith has 7 points on the night. So a big part of this offense. As a matter of fact, he's got 7. Peyton Marshall has 2. Well, he has 8 now, and that's been the only point scored for these teams on the floor right now. So 10 of their 16 points on the floor.
We saw early in the girls' game, but here in the boys' game, both teams are 100% from the free throw line.
I'd like to see Wally get a little bit more involved, but you got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Collin, who's been working on him very well. Collin had 20 points in the game for last time out. Quick shot here, just misses the mark. That was Stephen Galvin with the quick shot. So at the end of one, our score 16-20, gentlemen. And my, oh my, what a game it's been already. Max, let's start with you. What have you liked from Sequoia, and what are some things that you would like to see them change?
I think it has to be their ball movement right now, and they're not forcing shots, which is good. So ball movement and not forcing shots, 100% things to build on going to the second quarter. They have a 4-point lead. It's just that Marshall kid, I think he's pretty good down low.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Fisher Mitchell is doing a great job competing solo, but and they have those plays where they get those 3 people on them, but they are exploiting them and they find an open man. So they have to find that right mix, because you're going to have to double team him at some points because he is a beast. Yes. But it's going to be when can you double team him and when are you going to have to leave him alone with Fisher Mitchell.
Will, your assessment?
Well, you know, Marshall's a beast that you're not always going to be able to tame, and I think Mitchell's doing a good job. Obviously, we saw Marshall just throwing over Mitchell's head, but, I mean, it's an 8-inch difference. You're going to get that sometimes. But, I mean, I think offensively, Mitchell, I think, needs to get started on the 3 ball. I mean, we saw him miss 3 wide-open threes. He was able to get a nice layup there. So if he can get started going offensively, even though he's not their lead scorer, I mean, he's got 11 points a game average, so he can put some on the board for them. And then also, I think, Will, as you mentioned, I'd like to see Wally get a little bit more involved. We saw him with a big 3, but, you know, if Sequoia's going to get in this, they're going to need a team effort. And, I mean, I think a team effort is something they can definitely accomplish. You know, Parker and Keener kind of carrying the weight now. But that's a good thing about Sequoia is if they have 2 guys that are pulling the weight, the other 2 guys will pull it later when they need it.
Wally hammers it home! No, Trainer, excuse me. No, Wally, I was right the first time. I'll get it right at some point.
But what a dunk.
My goodness, didn't know Wally had that in him.
That's something we have not seen from Sequoia this year. That was nice.
They've had plenty of opportunities this whole season to dunk, but they've been saving it for the Elite 8.
Back and forth the call, the double dribble. Sequoia will take over.
And that's got to get the blood flowing in Wally. Man, that felt good. Wow.
Once again, fires the student section up coming off of the short break. 7:33 left to go here in the first half. Man, Wally known as a 3-point shooter, but absolutely jammed that one home.
He had the wide open lane, and he took it.
See, he's all fired up now. Cuts back inside. Mitchell with a 3. Just off a little bit once again. Trainer gets it underneath. Dishes it out to Wally.
And they're going to have to realize that Mitchell is not on tonight.
Wow, aerobatic shot there from Wally, but doesn't go. Kell going to slow down, set up a play here. 7 minutes left to go. Lots of contact inside and a travel call. So on back-to-back possessions, Kell hasn't been able to keep their feet moving and the ball moving at the same time. Kyle Keener here, as you mentioned, working one-on-one against Julius Strayhorn. See Wally at the top of the key, he gets it. Good defense by Kell here to start. Parker on the inside, back out to Trainer. Trainer's going to try and drive, and he's stuffed. That's one thing they're going to have to keep an eye on. They're not used to playing a center that tall. And your nature is to get to the basket, but it's so difficult when you know he's in the vicinity.
100%, and that kind of changes the whole mindset of everyone's game because you have to recognize that there's this huge dude in the paint.
So Fisher Mitchell, the guilty party on the foul on the floor there. So I believe that's his second, and it is. So have to keep an eye on that. Of course, if Fisher Mitchell gets into foul trouble, that's something that's a great detriment to the Chiefs inside. They need somebody with that size to keep an eye on Marshall while he's on the floor. That pass missed the target, but Kell will keep possession. Nice pass inside. Long three, just off the mark from the freshman, Connor Stephilaris. Wally, the other three-point shooter on the floor. Long three, inside and out. This is Colin with the ball. He had 20 points in their last game against Tucker. Another foul. This time the guilty party Trainer on the inside. And that's the play right there. Wow! Stolen, quick break, one man to beat, and laid back in on the second effort there. Good job by Wally to clean that one up.
That was set up by a quadruple team on the other end. Wow.
Hammered home on the other end by Cambridge. 5:30 left to go here in the second quarter. Parker, the top of the key. Mid-range jumper, just off. And loose ball here. Let's see who ends up with it. And Kell does. Still no stoppage, still a fight for the ball. And a timeout. Oh my, the Sequoia fans aren't going to be happy about that. Not sure that they had possession to call that timeout, but they give it to them. So with 5:10 left to go, the Chiefs up by 6.
It's been so hard to pay attention to the score with all the phenomenal plays that have been going back and forth.
That shot by Keener there, that if he made that, I might have left. Like, but that dunk by Cambridge, I think that really was important because he obviously had a lane for a layup. He could have easily taken the layup, but the momentum was all towards Sequoia. For him to take that dunk really kind of brought the decibels in the gym down.
Yes, absolutely. There's one thing that gets a high school gym fired up, it's a dunk. So 3 points are pretty, but dunks get everybody going. So we'll send it back to the floor here for you. So we now work under 5 minutes here in the second quarter. Hard drive inside. And that will take over for Sequoia as they draw the foul.
Trainer didn't even blink an eye there. He went straight to the ground. He's probably used to that from football.
Yeah. Trainer is a tough player. That's one thing you got to give him credit for. And once again, Sequoia loses possession, and they're going to retain it. Good job by Sequoia. And a travel called that time. It was Kyle Keener.
There was just so much pressure there. Understandable why I lost possession.
So Keener coughs it up. Kell will take over. Once again, our score 18-24. Sequoia doing a good job holding on to that 6-point lead. As we see here, this is Colin. And a long shot there from the freshman, doesn't go. And it's dished back out to Keener. Keener with one man to beat, going to set up the offense. Finds him in rotation. Harris, no, just off. Working back inside, draws the foul. Preston Parker on the inside will go for a free two. It's really been a clean game so far. We got an injury here, a little bit of blood on the floor. That is Kyle Keener. He'll have to come off and receive medical attention. So checking into the game for him will be Stephen Galvin.
I'm sure it's nothing he won't be able to walk off, but it's been a really aggressive and back and forth game. Both teams going, I mean, up and down the court very quickly.
Like you just said, there hasn't been many fouls, which is good. It's so fun to watch when they're playing as hard as they can, but they're not being over aggressive.
That one is up and in, so 2 points there, extends the lead out to 8. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Nice passing, going to set up inside for Marshall. Marshall doesn't find it, gets his own rebound. And he's getting climbed all over. Sequoia fans aren't happy about that one, as the foul, I believe, will go against number 23, Galvin.
And you saw that quadruple team again.
Yeah.
I mean, usually for teams, you don't want to do that because then it gives Kell 3 open guys. But, I mean, Sequoia's done it a couple times, and although they did get the foul on that one, the last time it worked out pretty good. And, I mean, on Marshall's first attempt, he didn't get it, so.
You hear this gym. And you hear the Kell return. Got to give Kell fans credit, traveled well, but my oh my, is this gym filled with black and gold. Not a lot of orange to be seen in the mix. Parker's going to take this one. Trying to drive inside. Good pass inside.
Yeah.
Finds Harris.
That's great playmaking.
Beautiful.
That is great playmaking from Parker there.
Extends the lead back out to 8.
He had 3 guys on him and just passed it right in between all of them.
A 3 from 10 feet beyond the arc. Doesn't find the mark, but put back up and in by Smith. 3:30 left to go here in the second. Nice possession here from Sequoia. Mitchell back on the floor. Gave Mitchell a rest, had 2 fouls. Ooh, nice move there. Parker finds Mitchell. Mitchell gonna rotate here, back to Keener. Lays it up just short. And fighting for the ball, but let's go smartly. Would have been called for a foul there. That was Paris Johnson who got it back for his team. He's at the top of the key. Poked away by Harris. Driving inside to Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
Mitchell, good job to poke that one away. Wally's got it. He dishes it to Keener. Keener with a quick break. Fouled hard. And they do not call a foul.
That was a good steal there from Wally on that other end of the court.
I was just about to say that was a fantastic steal by Wally. He recognized that Marshall brought the ball down. Whenever you have that time where a big man brings the ball down, that you have to take advantage of every single moment.
Yeah, Sequoia so far not really being phased by Marshall. I mean, the 7-foot presence is really not seeming to even get in their head. So far, he's only been sent to the free throw line 1 time, and he's only got 4 points. Yeah. So, I mean, it's less than you would have thought he would have gotten. So Sequoia's doing a good job of locking down on him.
Yeah, that's the key, right? When you have a guy who's so much taller than the rest of your team, you know he's going to be used. So how do you take him out of the equation? And Sequoia, to their credit, has done a good job of that. This is a lower scoring game than we thought it would be. As we mentioned, Kell comes in averaging 66.6 points per game. Sequoia 77.2. Of course, that 135 number may slant that number just a little bit in Sequoia's favor. But nonetheless, these two teams only combining in the 20s, each, and a total of points of 50 for this one. Much more low scoring than we thought, but there's still a lot of time. And obviously, as we know, with 2:46 left to play in the first half, a lot can change. So let's see if Sequoia can hold this 6-point lead. Wally will inbound this to try to inbound it to Mitchell, but it's poked away instead by Colin there.
We figured that both teams were going to hold together pretty evenly. And, the fact that it's not as high scoring could be a testament to just that it's playoff basketball. So everyone's leaving it all out there on the court. They're not withholding anything. So both teams playing phenomenal defense and great offense as well.
So the River Ridge girls team was defeated by Lovejoy. 71-59, the final in that. So the Lady Knights season done. Wally with a long 3, hammers it home. That's what you want to see if you're a Sequoia fan there. Wally getting involved a little bit more. Marshall on the inside, working, tipped away. Oh, they called a foul. Jeez.
They called it on Fisher Mitchell, which I can understand a little bit more. He was behind Marshall on that play. It did seem like Wally got a clean block on him, though.
And we apologize for the colorful language. And hammers home the free throws. You have to give the big man credit. There's one thing a big man should be able to do, that is make free throws, and he has done that very well so far.
100%, and that's kind of one thing that you rely on big men for, because you know that they're going to get fouled down low. If they're a physical post player, they have to be able to make their free throws.
So Mitchell comes off with 3 fouls, got to keep him out of foul trouble. So he has to come off and take a rest.
Speaking of unfazed, Marshall's been pretty unfazed by that Sequoia student section. They've been booing him all 4 of his free throws, and he's made all 4 of them.
Wally, quick dish. Almost tipped away, but Harris handles the hot pass. This is Preston Parker. Driving inside, good job finding Harris underneath. Knew the shot wouldn't go, hands it off to Wally. Wally really the leader of this team. Pretty good defense there inside.
Nice job getting a finger on it on Aaron Smith.
Long three, beautiful shot. I believe that was Paris Johnson there in the corner. And a return three from Parker. King me, he says. 1:45 left to go in the first half.
And that's something we've seen multiple times in this game, both teams answering each other very quickly.
Wally pokes it away, and it's off of a Kell defender last. So possession will go to Sequoia with 1:37. Sequoia protecting a 7-point lead. Oh, beautiful. Wally in the corner. Just off the mark. Good try by Trainer to get in there and get the rebound. Here's another shot for a long three. Hammers it home. The freshman you mentioned, Will. Staffilaris there.
And that's a dangerous shooter for the Chiefs to leave open because there's not many shots that he misses when he's wide open.
This is Keener on the inside. Good defense there from the freshman, Staffilaris. Turnover here. Johnson going up, man. Good contest there. Good defense from Wally. Wally forces it back out to Marshall. And a travel! Peyton Marshall called with the travel. Feel bad for these officials. We're now under a minute here, about 55 seconds to go. 30-34 our score. Kell's come back a little bit here. And a travel the other way. Peyton Marshall forced the pickup of the dribble there from Harris, and he took an extra step. 49 seconds here to go. Coaches barking out orders to their respective teams. Inside to Marshall, finds Pater.
A little bit of a Kell student section starting to come alive here.
Hammers it home for a long two. Sends the lead back out to 40. 30 seconds now. Oh my. And that was a foul against Marshall there. And you hear the student section. Folks, if you don't love high school sports, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? The Sequoia student section giving the horns down. Good defense there from Kell. Wally in the corner, forces the jump. And there's a foul on the floor. That's Paris Johnson, the guilty party. This game a little bit more foul heavy than the last one, gentlemen.
But I mean, keep in mind, it's still a very close game. Yes. Sequoia is only leading by 4. I don't think Sequoia has lost the lead all game. No. But regardless, it's been very close for both teams.
And we were talking about how they weren't on pace for much of a high-scoring game, but they've picked it up in these last 2 minutes.
Got about 10 seconds on the clock now. Don't see the call.
5 seconds.
Oh, okay. So good shout out there by Max. Max, our rules expert here. Keeps me on track. And Aaron shot there. And, oh no! Would have been one for the ages if Parker had hammered it home, but instead, we'll send it to halftime, 36-32. Before we get to our halftime break, we want to welcome everybody back into the broadcast booth here at the War Lodge. Guys, take a breath. We got to halftime, 32-36, our score. Will, I want to start with you. Tell me a little bit about what you thought of that first half.
Well, I mean, I think Sequoia played well. I think that after that first quarter, Wally was able to get into it. I mean, he's at 12 points right now, and that's a pretty good quarter for him. I still like to see Fisher Mitchell get a little bit more involved. He's missed 4 threes, so he hasn't been his usual self. You know, you can usually depend on him for anywhere from 10 to 12 points a game. And then Trainer's been doing great defensively, getting rebounds. He doesn't have any points to show for, but that's not really the way he plays. He's more of a defensive player, not necessarily offensive player. I mean, as far as Kell goes, I think they're playing equally as good. I think Sequoia's doing a good job of locking down on Peyton Marshall. And so I think if Kell can recognize when Sequoia is doing that and then pass it, you know, out wide, setting up those open shots for Kell. I think Kell could really start to get some points here.
Excellent point, Will. Max, what's your assessment of the first half?
Well, that was a roller coaster, first thing, but I think it was a great all-around first half for Sequoia. You have Wally and Keener who are both shooting 50%, and that's a great first half for both of them. Wally put up 10 shots, Keener put up 6 attempts. I think for them, they just need to keep on shooting, because the more attempts they get, obviously they're going to make more, but still, to pressure that Kell defense, to put more pressure on them and kind of change momentum with occasional makes, that's something very important. And for Kell, I think that they had a great first half too. Marshall played phenomenally, even though he got kind of found out by everyone on the floor. But I think Cologne outside Aaron Smith, a very underrated first half, complete dominator on the drives to the lane. Kell just needs to figure out how to stop their shooting on the Sequoia shooting on the defense side of the ball, and they have a heavy chance of taking the lead. Only 4-point ball game.
We got a lot left to see as the half-court shot contest is going on down below with all the high school students and the kids. And while they're doing that, we're going to take about a 7-minute break. And when we come back, we're going to bring you the second half of action. Once again, our score, 36-32 in favor of the hometown Chiefs. You're watching Chiefs TV on wherever you're watching it. Thank you for making us your Wednesday night entertainment. We'll be back. What a perfect Welcome back into the War Lodge as we've got a minute left of intermission before we get set for the second half of action between the Kell Longhorns and the hometown Sequoia Chiefs. Do want to get into this before we get into the game. We do know what will happen in the next round of playoffs for the girls basketball team. Sequoia will be playing Kell. So a little bit of irony there as we have Kell here tonight. And Kell versus Sequoia will become top of mind for the Lady Chiefs as it is right now for the boys team. Want to welcome back into the broadcast booth Will Hogendijk and my good friend Max Swain as well. Of course, thank you all for joining us here on this Wednesday night. The student section filling back up from the intermission. Guys, quickly, Will, I'll start with you. What are you looking for Sequoia to come out here and do to start the half?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that they need to get Fisher Mitchell jump started. I mean, I think everyone else on the court had a pretty typical game. Parker with 13, Wally with 12, Keener with 7, Trainer not with any points but with plenty of rebounds doing his part. So I think if they can get Fisher Mitchell started on the scoring, then they can really start to pull away here. As far as Kell, I think they can need to keep doing what they're doing. I think they had a nice first half. Obviously, they need to get in the lead. So if they can just stop Sequoia defensively and continue what they've been doing offensively, I think it's going to be a different story for them.
All right, Max, what about you?
Kind of the same thing for Kell. I think they need to move a tad bit faster on defense because they're kind of getting left behind a little. And for Sequoia, just keep on taking as many shots as you can and keep on taking your brand of shot.
We'll send you back down to the floor. Once again, thank you to the Barbara Lackey Financial Group for sponsoring here as there's a jam inside by the big man. We've been mentioning it all night long and playing with fire. And there it comes to fruition in Peyton Marshall. Once again, only a sophomore, standing 7 foot tall, a big force on the inside, but Sequoia's handled him well so far. And there's a steal on the opposite end. Kell coming out here with a lot of fire. Quick transition. And my, oh my, foul called there in transition. Don't know about that call, gentlemen. It looked like got more ball than hand, but they're a lot closer to it than we are, so we'll leave that judgment up to them, as that was Kyle Keener, the guilty party.
We saw Sequoia play very aggressive defense in the first half, and that's a side effect. Sometimes you're not going to get the call you want. You will end up sending Kell to the free throw line, and although Kell did go to the free throw line, they didn't go too many times. So Sequoia playing aggressive and clean defense for the most part.
Cole in there with the shot up and in. And if he makes this one, it'll be a tie. And we got a game on our hands, folks. So all knotted at 36. Clock reads 7:30 now. Thank everybody for being with us on a beautiful Wednesday night. Mitchell open with a 3. Can he hit this one? No, just off again. Been just about a foot off all night long. And continues that streak. Nice move inside there by Kell. Parrish Johnson. And Kell having their way a little bit to begin. Wally on the back end, no, but reissued by Trainer. Back outside, long 3, hammered home. Beautiful shot that time by Parker. Parker coming into his own, got 16 points on the night.
And he's been money from beyond the arc. I think he's 3 for 3 on the night.
You got that right.
3 for 4, close, but he's having a great night.
Inside to Marshall, but dishes it back out top. And there's the matchup. Working inside, no foul called there. Trainer was working with him, trying to help Fisher Mitchell out, but no dice. So Kell still holding the lead by 1. First lead they've held all night. As this is Wally with the ball. And out to Trainer. An interesting thing about Sequoia's offense, they don't use Mitchell inside the paint. As here's another shot. And just off again from three-point land. And we got a foul.
It might have been on Marshall.
It is against Marshall. I have to get up on my tiptoes to see over the crowd.
And Will, with Mitchell being their tallest guy, you would think that they would be in the paint. But I think especially this season, Trainer has kind of developed as that guy in the paint. Because, despite his not overly huge size, he's very physical and able to get plenty of rebounds.
Long 3 there, doesn't go. Of course, underneath, you just need an aggressive ball player. Sometimes size doesn't matter if you have the aggression. You see Trainer working against Marshall there, and it's physical inside. Long 3, nope. And good rebound there by Keener. Of course, Trainer, a football player, not afraid of contact. Plays quarterback, but also safety. And that one's poked away by Kell, Aaron Smith, but it's quickly picked up once again by Keener. Keener retains possession. And a travel called, that time against Parker. 5:37 left on the clock in the third. Foul on each team here to start the third. And you hear the Kell student section responding to the Sequoia student section.
I'm sure we'll hear a response shortly.
It should be a good one. Kell working once again inside. And foul called inside. So that one is once again against Trainer on the inside. Trainer's done a good job. That's only his second foul of the night. And that's a tough call inside. Kell working it in and out, in and out, in and out. Mitchell underneath, contesting, and nothing you can do about that.
When the grabs go right over your head, what can you do?
Quick rebound here. Kell's going to take it in transition. Long three, doesn't go. Oh, wow. Pretty good job there by Sequoia. Preston Parker playing a little bit of a block there.
Yeah, I saw a little shoulder to get him out of bounds.
Not sure that's advisable, and that's what the officials telling him. I didn't blow the whistle, but I don't know that I would recommend you do that again. So we're now under 5 minutes here to go in the third. And there's a foul. Fouls are starting to rack up here for both teams, not getting some good looks. That was Julius Strayhorn working inside. Strayhorn it's his first score of the night as a foul. Doesn't have any points yet.
And Connor Harris will check in for Matthew Trainer on the Chiefs side of the ball.
That's a good point. Gonna have to rotate with him and Fisher Mitchell working against Peyton inside. You see a drive inside. Oh, wow! How did that one go? Keener lays it up and in. Kell with a response quickly, and that one goes. The Kell lead back out to 3 now. This is Wally with the ball. Dishes it out to the top to Mitchell. Good movement here from Sequoia, trying to work inside. And that one is stuffed, but gets his own rebound, and I believe it's off of Marshall. Let's see. It is. That was a heads-up play there by Sequoia to tap it back to him as he goes out. They're getting ready to inbound this ball now. That's Keener. Dishes it back out top. We mentioned Connor Harris had a big first half. Would like to see him continue to be involved. Mitchell mid-range, dumps it underneath. Holy cow!
Wow.
Preston Parker, you magician!
Circus layup. That was impressive, to say the least.
My gosh.
Score back within 1. 4:10 on the clock here in the third. Once again, the Elite 8 of the 6A GHSA playoffs. Inside to Marshall. Ooh, he's out. He is.
The referee pointing to the spot where he stepped out, and the Sequoia student section is not going to let Kell forget that one.
And that pass inside to Marshall just blows me away. It looks like it could be interpreted sometimes as a shot because they throw it so high, but then it ends up in Marshall's hands. Insane.
Mitchell with a 3. I did everything but went through the net. And no call there on the loose ball.
And Mitchell's three's not falling from anywhere tonight.
And nothing you can do about that. Marshall puts it back up.
Yeah, Mitchell is 0 for 6 from outside the arc.
Shooter's got to keep shooting, though. Here's another 3 attempt, and just off the side of the rim. That's the problem with the 3 ball. It's not a high percentage shot. Of course, the 135 game would make you think otherwise, but they are 38% from three-point land this year, 46% shooting from the floor as Sequoia. And there's a 3 from Kell, and that one is beautifully hammered. 3 minutes left here to go. Sequoia now trailing by 6. Nice move there. Here comes a 3 from the opposite end. No good, but good rebound inside by Wally. Wally tries to put it back up, and it's tipped away. Kell's going to have a break. And just off the side, nope. Nope. And it's going to be Sequoia's ball.
And it almost looked like Aaron Smith was going for the alley-oop after that missed layup there. That could have been dangerous.
And here's where it matters most. So as you see, Peyton Marshall coming off to the side now, and Sequoia's going to have to make up ground while he's not on the floor.
100%. This is their time to shine and get back in this one.
I'd like to see Fisher start to get that 3 aligned. And there's going to be a foul. It's number 3, Colin. Colin was a big part of the production last week. He did have 20 points in their last game, was the leading scorer for them. Tonight it looks like he's only amounted to 2 points and 2 fouls. So they give it to Mitchell and then back. Wow, long three, just off the front of the rim. Poked away nicely. Sequoia's going to retain possession.
That was a good poke away by Fisher Mitchell.
And try it again. That one doesn't go either, but Fisher Mitchell's going to get it inside and lays it back up and in.
And he knows he has an advantage when Marshall is out.
49 to 45, 2:15 left. We are in the third. There's a three if he wanted it, didn't want it, and a travel call. Juked himself out, could have taken the three, decided against it, and just like that, Peyton Marshall going to check back into the game. So they didn't give him much time. So let's see what Sequoia can set up once again with Marshall back in this one. Fisher Mitchell at the top, wide open three, just not going tonight. Wally from a mid-range, that one goes. They draw within 2, 1:50 left to go. But once again, Marshall back on the floor now. There's a three, nope. And good job by Mitchell to keep it cleared out. In transition, doesn't go. And the foul drawed, okay. That was a late call there, late whistle. That was against Staphylars, the freshman that's known for his three-point shooting. And that is their 4th foul for Kell.
And Will and Max, I think Sequoia needs to remember that they're not in the lead. I think they were used to being in the lead, I mean, for that whole first half and a lot of the beginning of the second half too. So I think they need to calm it down a little bit, get a couple quick shots to get back in the lead. Because, I mean, with that free throw made by Parker, they're now only within 1. So they're close, but I think they just need to get that lead back.
Preston Parker having a huge night. 19 points so far. And just off the mark that time.
And Parker is 80% from the free throw line tonight.
1:34 left on the clock. Sequoia down by 1. Kell comes into this one 19-10 on the year. They were the runner-up in Region 6, but don't be fooled by that. They play in the same region as Wheeler, who's known as the top-ranked basketball team in the state, up there with Milton. And there's the matchup inside. And if he misses his own shot, he can make it again. And they draw the foul on Trainer. That's just a tall order there, gentlemen. So he'll go to the line for 2. Max, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's perfect on the night from the stripe.
He is indeed 4 for 4.
So there's the old announcer jinx for him. Bang. So that extends the lead out to 50 to 48. Once again, 1:13 left on the clock. So it gets down to the final quarter. These teams are going to be in a little bit of foul trouble, maybe. Hey, there it is. So Sequoia only down by 2. Keener working the offense, driving inside, poked away. Wally's going to get it. Working inside. Puts it up, nice. Tie ball game, under a minute to go. Listen to this crowd. Nice drive and finish there by Parrish.
He has had a great third quarter.
We're at 30 seconds left to go in the third. Good defense by Kell there. Tried to get the pass to Wally, but intercepted. 20 seconds now. And Kell's going to try and take the last shot of this quarter. And doesn't go. Marshall's going to get his own rebound, and that's got to be a double. Called it.
Chiefs ball.
All right. They called a jump ball. Probably should have called it just as a double dribble, but they did not. So nonetheless, the possession arrow will change. But with 6.2 seconds left to go, Sequoia's going to have to get as close as they can to an advantageous position to take a shot. Quickly to Wally. Shooter shoot, and that one's short. Do they count it? I don't see it. No. They wave it off. It took them a minute to wave it off, and they're going to discuss it. And let's see. Nope, they wave it off.
A good effort by Parker,
Good effort.
Good effort.
All right. Nothing you can do about that, folks. It's as good of a game as you can ask for. Maybe a little bit more low scoring than we thought. 52-50 our score at the end of 3. We're going to need a 4th one to decide it. Whew, everybody take a breath.
That felt like a pretty long third quarter. I don't know about you guys.
Long third quarter. And you could feel the animosity building a little bit between the teams, especially with some of those loose ball fouls. There were some that were harder than others that we've seen, and it's typically what happens in a basketball game. You keep that guy that's bumping up against you, and you just kind of want to hit him a little bit harder. And as much as people say basketball is not a contact sport, it's about as contact as a non-contact sport can be. So.
And just a note, both teams, neither teams, used a timeout in that third quarter. So both coaches looking toward the long game, knowing that it's going to come down to the wire, and they're going to need to use those timeouts strategically to get those clock stoppages and set up those plays and get those plays up in order.
I'm just really impressed by how Kell came out of the locker room.
Yes.
From the get-go, they had this, you said animosity about them and their attitude. They were not about to lose this game.
Yeah.
And they're competing right now with a 2-point lead. This is going to be a great finish, I have a feeling.
Don't move a muscle, folks. We've got 8 minutes left to decide this one. And Sequoia's going to have to make up the 2-point deficit somewhere in there. And here we go. 4 timeouts for each team. Fouls reset. Possession arrow goes back to Sequoia. It's been a great one so far. I'm Will Cooper, joined alongside Will Hogendijk. Max Swain working inside there, converted. That's Cambridge. First time we've called his name in the second half. Quick turnaround here from Sequoia, driving inside, doesn't go. Put back up, doesn't go either time. Trainer tried to get it off the rebound from Keener, but doesn't go either way. Driving to the basket the other way is Kell, and that one rolls up and in. A magician with the ball.
And that's Paris Johnson Jr.
Starting to heat up now, really driving to the basket. Sequoia drives themselves. Beautiful shot put up there by Parker. Responds, keeps it within 2.
And there's Parker's signature shot, that high glass layup. I know, I just stole those words right from Max's mouth.
You said it earlier, yeah.
Bank is open on a Wednesday night. 56-52. 7 minutes left to go. Quick pass out to Wally. Wally going to try and drive inside. Does! Puts the move on him. Back within 2. Feel the tension. Nice drive by Kell, passing it out to Marshall. Marshall just has to lay it up there. And nice defense by Sequoia. Nice move! Long 3! No, just off the side for Parker. Rebound inside. Another try, just off the front of the glass. Keener missed that one. Working back inside is Kell. Oh my. Got just enough of his hand to draw the foul. 6:11 left to go. 2 minutes quickly gone here.
But that was a crucial empty possession for Sequoia because they obviously had the crowd's favor on that great move by Parker, and 2 misses in a row does not help the momentum late in this one.
And that one is up and off. So Paris Johnson, who on the night has 14 points. He had 17 points in the last game. Not getting it done from the stripe. Checking into the game for Wally is Keener. So on the floor you've got Mitchell, Keener, Trainer, Parker. Oh, excuse me, Wally just changing spots, no change. And there's a loose ball foul. Foul now committed for each team. 6:06 left to go. And now we have the substitution. So checking in for Trainer is Connor Harris. Harris has had a big game so far.
And I feel like that Harris and Trainer substitution have been like the only substitutions on the Chiefs side of the ball.
Yeah, aside from Mitchell getting a couple of rests because of fouls, it's pretty much been it. Slowing the game down a little bit. Only down by 2, Chiefs fans. Only down by 2. Here's a 3. That's a lead, and the 4-point play! Bring it on home, Preston
And
Parker!
who other than Preston Parker with the 3? That's 4 for 5 on the night, and every time Sequoia has needed a big 3, he's answered.
24 points on the night for the young man, looking to convert the 4-point play.
That's the second 4-point play of the night. He had that other one on the opposite side of the floor where he fell down.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I've noticed. There has been a decent amount of fouling on 3-point shots.
And there it is. Checking back into the game is Trainer. Coming out is Connor Harris. Also notably absent from the floor for Kell is Peyton Marshall. So, once again, as we said last time he checked out of the game, this is a time to make up the points. Listen to this crowd.
And that's a big momentum shifter. After that third quarter was definitely owned by Kell. For Sequoia to get the lead back, that's got to feel good.
Wide open 3, hammered home by Kell. Aaron Smith.
And just like that, their lead disappears.
So Sequoia down by 1. Stop me if you've heard this story before, gentlemen, but this is exactly what you want and expect with Elite 8 basketball teams, right? These are 2 evenly matched teams trading blows back and forth. And listen, it's all about unsung heroes. That's the big thing. And of course, the unsung hero for Sequoia is Preston Parker, coming in averaging 11.7. He's got 25 on the night. And not going quietly into that good night is Dylan Wally, who has 18 points. Although he's a little bit under his production, they've made up a lot for Fisher Mitchell, who's been working so hard in the glass. He just hasn't found a lot of success from beyond the arc like he normally does.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I know Max is thinking this, but Preston Parker is what we've called our dark horse player. He's been that guy that maybe hasn't been getting 10-point quarters every time, but it's just getting a little by little. And then at the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard and you say, oh, he's ended up with 20 points. And, you know, he's really scored a lot of points this year. He's the 3rd most on the team. And, I mean, he's just having another typical game, 25 points. And for him to be leading Keener and Wally is not something that you see every day. And, you know, that's something you got to look forward to considering he's not a senior this year.
5:29 left on the board as we have our final period of action here. It's as good as you can get, folks. Sequoia down by 1, and they're going to take over the ball. Not a lot of foul trouble so far in this one. Kell only 2 in the quarter, Sequoia with 1. But they're going to play a little bit more defense here. Fisher Mitchell going to try a 3. Finally hits it home! Timeout by Sequoia.
Long overdue Fisher Mitchell.
I was just about to say on that last intermission we had where you were talking about how Fisher Mitchell has not been on, I was going to say I was disappointed. We were hoping for a big night from him, but that was critical. They needed something to get momentum back, and they did it. Fisher Mitchell coming in clutch time. Great to see him coming back.
Timeout, one shot, another timeout. That's how it's going to go with 5 minutes and 11 seconds left. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
And it's getting to the critical point where those 3 points really matter because as we mentioned in the last game, the girls' game, you start adding up those possessions, right? Because if you can get to that 2-3 possession mark with a minute left, it changes the whole game. But here we are, and Sequoia up by 2. They're hanging in there. As we mentioned in intermission, guys, it kind of felt like that we were just watching Sequoia just kind of survive. But here we're starting to see them take on their own. Wally's getting a little bit more involved. Obviously, we got done talking about Preston Parker. But if Fisher Mitchell can start to hit from beyond the arc, then this is a very dangerous Sequoia
That's a
team.
whole new team, basically.
Absolutely. So we'll send you back down to the floor here. 5:11 to go. Kell going to take over possession. 3 timeouts for each team left. Langston Hughes defeating the River Ridge Knights 53-51 in the boys game, so the Knights are out. Of course, the Cherokee girls lost in double overtime last night in a heartbreaker. So the Sequoia Chiefs, the last remaining girls team. See if the Sequoia boys can continue their parade. 4:55 left to go. 59-61. Wally directing traffic. Inside to Mitchell. Working against Marshall. Draws the foul. Big foul there. That's his third of the night. As Marshall's third foul of the night. Checking into the game. It's Connor Harris trading places with Trainer. Once again, you mentioned Harris and Trainer kind of trading duties there in that rotation. Wally inbounding it long to Keener.
And both of them having very similar positions.
Parker just off. Loose ball foul.
To finish that thought, both of them having very similar roles when they are in the game. A combined 2 points between them. But, you know, again, as we have said multiple times, they're both defensive players. They're not really that offensive type. And so 0 points is something you're okay with seeing if you're Coach Carden.
Hammers home the free throw. Wally, a very sound shooter. This would be his 20th point of the night if he can convert this one.
And Will, you were talking about earlier how these points, you're going to start adding up to possessions. You're going to be seeing how many possessions you're ahead. And it's a 4-point game. 1-2 possessions, you're going to start counting them now.
So up by 2 possessions. If they can keep Kell from converting on a couple of these, it gets real dangerous for the Longhorns. Hard foul set there on Wally, but no call. Underneath, Marshall. And let's see who the foul is on this time. I believe it's going to be against Trainer and not Mitchell, and that is the case. So Matthew Trainer picks up his 4th foul. Trainer blanked from the actual scoring. He only averages 4.9, but as you guys mentioned, Trainer known much more underneath the glass as a rebounder.
Yeah, and he's only put up 2 shots, but he's missed both of those 2 shots. But you're right, definitely a physical rebounder down low. And one thing to know, Peyton Marshall has not made a shot from the paint down in this 4th quarter.
So he does hit the free throw there, drawing it within 3.
You know, Maximo, that's something I was thinking about. After Kell owned that 3rd quarter, I was thinking, well, if Sequoia can capitalize on Marshall and lock him down the way they did in that first half, then it's going to be a different story for them.
So still a 3-point game. Nice passing. Corner 3. Bang! Preston Parker!
28 points on the night.
Kell trying to put everything they got into this one, and once again, my oh my, Peyton Marshall continuing to bully Sequoia inside, but still a 4-point lead for the Chiefs. Mitchell fakes out Marshall, dishes it out to Wally. Wally gets it outside. Gives it to the hot hand to Parker. Nice move inside to Wally. It's blocked that time. Look out, Kell on a break. Misses. Battle inside. Mitchell gets it. 3. Yes, sir! Kyle Keener!
This place is electric.
Oh, all the way in and out for the Longhorns. Pressure here. 2:55 left to go. Another miss, inside by Marshall. That one is in. Timeout here from Kell after the run by Sequoia. Sequoia up by 5 now, gentlemen. Sequoia up by 5, 2:50 left here to go. Welcome you back inside the broadcast booth here at the War Lodge. It's getting down to the fun part of this, gentlemen. Everybody keep your nerves. We got this one. 3 timeouts left for each team. And an interesting thing to note, Kell has committed 5 fouls in this 4th quarter. So they got to be real careful here because they're going to get to the point where Sequoia is already in the bonus. And if they continue to commit fouls, we know how good Sequoia is from the stripe.
Yeah, that's right. They've been really great tonight. And that'll get Keener into double digits with 12 points. But, I mean, Preston Parker, story of the night, 28 points. He is having just a fantastic night.
And as I was, those last 2 minutes, I was trying to keep stats here, but there was like 20 stats in the span of 30 seconds. I think that's honestly a big lesson here. These teams are playing under so much pressure. 2:50 left. this War Lodge is as packed as I've ever seen it, and they have the pressure of a whole state tournament. I think the team that stays calm the most throughout this whole last 250 and doesn't try to force shots, even though you probably will force a couple, but force the least shots, will probably come out on top.
I would say so. We'll send it back down to the floor for the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds of action here. Nice movement from Sequoia. Kell not putting pressure on yet. No reason to foul yet. Only down by 5. Nice movement. You see lots of movement here from Sequoia. Keener there was looking around. Sure, somebody was going to pick his pocket, but didn't happen. Sequoia going to be content to burn a little time with these possessions. 2:15 left.
Yeah, I was about to say they're doing the same thing that the girls were, trying to waste time.
And there's the pressure. And bang! Hammers home the dunk is Cambridge. Now they're back within 3. Sequoia's got to be careful balancing the conservative time burning. And nothing you can do about that one. Aaron pass, Connor Harris goes too long, and you hear the Kell fan base react.
And that's a bad sequence for Sequoia, giving up a wide open layup, or dunk, excuse me, and then just throwing that one out of bounds. They got to settle down. Only a 3-point lead, so Kell can still get back in this very quickly.
They had to stop play there for a moment. Trainer was trying to check into the game, but was not on his spot in time.
Is there an earthquake? There might be an earthquake. I don't know. This crowd is going wild.
Registering on the Richter scale here. 1:40 left. Sequoia still a 3-point lead. Nice movement here from Kell along 2. Sequoia going to retain possession. Once again, Sequoia still in the bonus. Will play large here in the last minute and a half of the game. Boxing in there. And a timeout called by Sequoia there.
So both teams now with 2 timeouts left.
Minute 20 left to go in the game. And, you know, that last possession where Sequoia was so conservative with the ball and then turned it over and they were able to convert that 2 points, it puts a little sour taste in your mouth because that is such a big change of score there as they're down by 1 now. And that just kind of leaves you feeling just a little bit sick to your stomach because you know that if Sequoia had put up a shot, at least they have a chance of converting those, especially with how good the shooters have been shooting here in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, Max just said, and he's been saying, just take as many shots as you can. And playing conservative is good, but playing too conservative, I mean, you got to remember, there's still a minute 20 on the clock, and, you know, that doesn't sound like a lot, but in basketball, that can be a lot, especially when there's 4 timeouts still on the table. So you want to conserve it, but you also don't want to conserve it to the point where you waste the possession like they did there. So a mistake by them, but fortunately Sequoia is still in the lead. 1 point isn't a ton with this much time remaining, but Sequoia's definitely not out of it. Kell isn't either, though.
And as we all know, when you get back in the waning moments of a game, those mistakes are amplified just because of the fact you don't have time to fix it. So let's see what Sequoia can do. Kell going to put on the pressure. This is a well-experienced Sequoia team. And nice job inside by Marshall to poke it away from Mitchell. Kell down by 1. Working inside. Mitchell blocks it. And it is Sequoia's ball on the jump ball. Beautiful job there from Mitchell, and you hear the crowd giving him his right-earned applause there as we are now down to 57 seconds. 2 timeouts left for each team. Sequoia in the bonus. Have to push the ball inside to Mitchell. Nice moving it around to Wally. Back into Mitchell. Could have been a foul there, not called. Continuing to move the ball well is Sequoia. And it is Kell ball. We can't see what happened down there in the corner, folks. I do apologize.
I think he stepped out of bounds.
Trying to get the best vantage point, but 1 point difference. Timeout called. 23.9 seconds left to go, gentlemen.
And Will and Max, that's another example of Sequoia may be a little too conservative on that possession. But, I mean, you got to give credit to Cal. They had fantastic defense. They were really not letting Sequoia get anywhere. So, I mean, I don't know what to say.
And it's tough, right? If you're a coach, you know, what do you tell your guys, right? Because you have the lead, and you felt Cal kind of pulling at that a little bit, and it's hard not to tell them to play conservative with that. But you'd like to see them put up a shot there, but they were doing very well moving the ball around, to be fair.
They were. It was pretty impressive. But just the atmosphere in this building and these last 22 seconds is going to make a huge impact. Although I think Cal has handled it pretty well the whole game. Example would be Marshall at the line has made 6 of his 8 free throws, and he's been getting harassed verbally by the student section. I'm just, nerves are through the ceiling.
There's only one way to decide this one, and that's with 24 more seconds and a point that separates them.
And I don't know what their strategy would be coming out of this one. I don't know if they're going to try to hold the ball the whole time. We saw how that worked out for Sequoia a couple of times, a decent amount of turnovers, but they could hold it and try to get a buzzer beater maybe.
Well, the other thing to remember, too, is Sequoia has fouls to give. Cal does not.
I was going to say, Cal's doing a good job of playing defense, but not too aggressive defense to where they give Sequoia free throws.
Yes, and they have to be careful down here not to take a charge. 15 seconds. Here's a whistle and a timeout called by Cal. I suppose to take a look at the defense. By the way he's coaching, I would assume that Mr. Marshall did not do whatever the play design was, cutting inside. So 13.1 seconds now, gentlemen. No timeouts left for Cal, 2 for Sequoia. You can't take them with you, so if you need to call it, go ahead and call it. And a 1-point separation between these two teams. A prayer meeting going down here in the student section here as the brothers of Mullets get together and decide the fate of this Sequoia Chiefs team. Of course, the Cal faithful have come out to our left side, done a fantastic job, and looking across the way here, opposite of the camera facing us, it is absolutely packed. It's a beautiful atmosphere here on a Wednesday night, and the most justice we can do for it is to let the crowd speak for themselves. .13 seconds. Marshall draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Foul called against Wally. That is Wally's first of the night. Tie game. Lead. 11 seconds. Foul against Cal. Sequoia in the bonus will go to the line. 8.9 seconds left. Sequoia down by 1 to the line. Goes Keener. Keener on the night, 12 points. A hush will fall over the Sequoia fans. In. It is a 1+1 for the lead with 8.9.
And one thing to note, Cal does not have any more timeouts after this.
Lead. Timeout, Sequoia. We'll bring you back inside the broadcast booth as the Chiefs have a lead of 1. Folks, sometimes in sports and as announcers, you don't have much to say, and that's because the crowd says it for you. So for this final 8.9 seconds, we will be relatively quiet so you can enjoy the moment with us. And as I always ask, how can you not be romantic about high school sports?
Man, to say tensions are high is an understatement. I can only imagine what the players are feeling. I mean, the fact that Marshall and Keener both made both of their free throws
100%.
is so impressive.
Crazy. Under all the pressure, the weight of the whole season was resting on both of their shoulders, and they aced it. Insanity. Wow.
And this is the point where both teams are drawing up their final plays, going to their guys saying, you're taking that last shot. You got to get him open. I mean, the pressure's only going to get higher from here.
8.9 seconds. Kell has no fouls to give, no timeouts to burn. Sequoia has 2 fouls to give and 1 timeout to burn. Kell will get the ball. 8.9 seconds. War Lodge, take it away. Wally fouls. 6.2 seconds. To inbound for Kell, Jalen Colin. Checking into the game, trainer for Connor Harris. Clock rolling. Foul, Wally. 3.8 seconds. No more fouls to give. Colin to inbound. Timeout, Sequoia. We will bring you in the booth for one final time. 3.8 seconds. Nobody has anything left to give. If Sequoia fouls again, that will put Kell in the bonus. Kell has no fouls to give. Sequoia is in the bonus. 3.8 seconds left. The decision for Sequoia, do you let them shoot or do you send them to the line? If you send them to the line, you control the clock.
I think it really depends on who gets the ball. That's the first thing you look at. And where they get the ball. If they get the ball right at the three-point line or in perfect shooting position, then you have to foul. You can't give them an open shot. If they're far away and they're trying to launch up a shot, I might consider fouling depending on who it is. So many variables coming into play.
This is the GHSA 6A playoffs, Elite 8 basketball. Pleasure to have you here with us. I've been Will Cooper, Will Hogendijk, and Max Swain as well. Ball game. Your Sequoia Chiefs are headed to the Final Four. They will have to clear the court because there was a foul for Kell. They will have to clear the court.
Just as quickly as the students stormed the court, the principal came over and said, get back in the stands.
Van Alstyne showing some speed.
1.6 seconds will be placed on the clock. Sequoia in the bonus will go to the line.
It's Kyle Keener once again.
What a block by Trainer, though. He got some air on that. That was impressive.
If Kyle Keener makes both shots, it's a three-point game. With only 1.6 seconds remaining, it is crucial that he make both shots. Because if Kell is able to put up a shot, then the three-pointer would win it. No. And it is a 1+1. And that will do it.
Send him on the court.
Chiefs are headed to the Final Four. Celebrate it, boys. And horns down prevail in Hickory Flat.
Two Final Four tickets for the Chiefs. How does that sound?
Sounds like a fantasy, Will. You're joking.
The boys Sequoia Chiefs came into this one 11-2 here at the War Lodge. They'll finish the season 12-2 at the War Lodge. The Lady Chiefs came into this 10-3 at the War Lodge. They'll leave 11-3. Both of them have punched their ticket into the Final Four. The boys will face Wheeler. The girls will face Kell coming up in the coming days. Gentlemen, final thoughts.
What a game.
What a game.
That was fun to watch. That was fun to be a part of.
Preston Parker, 28 points. All I have to say. All I have to say.
Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor here tonight. Everyone take part in the festivities as your community gathers around both of your Chiefs teams. It's a great day to be a Chief in Canton, Georgia. Folks, I've been Will Cooper, joined alongside Will Hogendijk and Max Swain as well. Until next time, everybody take care and go Chiefs.